The woman caught in adultery. John chapter 8 verses 1 to 12. It is about law, exposure, hypocrisy, mercy, and true authority. What is happening? The scribes and Pharisees bring a woman to Jesus. They say she was caught in the very act of adultery. According to the law of Moses, adultery was punishable by stoning. See Deuteronomy chapter 22. They ask Jesus, "So what do you say?" John tells us clearly. They were testing Jesus. This is not primarily about the woman. It is about trapping Jesus. What were the Pharisees trying to do? They set up a legal dilemma. If Jesus says, "Stone her," he loses his reputation for mercy and possibly violates Roman law, since Jews didn't have full authority to execute. If he says, "Do not stone her," they can accuse him of rejecting Moses. It's a trap either way. But notice something suspicious. Where is the man? The law required both parties in adultery to be judged. Yet only the woman is brought. That suggests selective enforcement, possibly manipulation, or even exploitation. The woman is being used as a tool. The Pharisees' intent was not justice, it was exposure and accusation. Not of her, but of Jesus. What about the woman? She was guilty. Jesus never says she is innocent. Adultery was sin, a relational betrayal, a covenant violation. But she is also humiliated publicly, dragged into the center, surrounded by stones. She is both sinner and exploited pawn. Why did Jesus say, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone"? Under the law, witnesses had to throw the first stones. Jesus is not dismissing the law, he is applying it fully. He shifts the focus. Before you act as judge, examine yourself. He is not saying, only perfect people can judge. He is exposing something deeper. Are you here for justice, or for accusation? Are you applying the law equally, or selectively? One by one, they leave, because their motives are exposed. Why did Jesus not condemn her? This is important. Jesus does not say, "It's fine." He says, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and sin no more." He separates condemnation from correction. He offers mercy without approving the sin. Why no condemnation? Because their trial was corrupt. Because they were hypocritical. Because the law was being weaponized. And because Jesus' mission was not immediate execution, but redemption. He does not ignore sin. He refuses to weaponize it. So who was in the wrong? The woman? Yes, morally. The Pharisees? Yes, legally and spiritually. They applied the law selectively, used a human being as bait, ignored their own sin. They sought entrapment, not righteousness. Jesus wasn't too sweet. He wasn't avoiding judgment. He judged the situation perfectly. He upheld the seriousness of sin. He exposed hypocrisy. He protected the vulnerable. He maintained authority. Immediately after this moment, Jesus says, "I am the light of the world." This is not random placement. Light does two things. It exposes. It reveals truth. So who was exposed? The woman's sin was already visible. But in this moment, the Pharisees were exposed. Their motives, their hypocrisy, their misuse of power. Light does not only expose immorality, it exposes manipulation and pride, and importantly, Jesus himself is not exposed as fraud. He stands in the light. He remains consistent. He embodies both truth and mercy. So what is this passage really about? It is about the difference between using truth to condemn versus using truth to restore. The Pharisees used the law to trap. Jesus used it to reveal hearts. The woman was guilty. The Pharisees were hypocritical. Jesus was just and merciful. When truth meets grace, it does not minimize sin, but it refuses humiliation as a method. Light does not crush, it clarifies. And everyone in that scene was exposed, just not in the way they expected. The woman's sin was visible. The Pharisees' hearts were revealed. And Jesus' identity as the true light became undeniable. John chapter 8 verses 1 to 12 shows that Jesus does not deny sin. He exposes hypocrisy, protects the vulnerable, and reveals himself as the light who brings truth without weaponizing it.